right, so I have Marvell Q in the building.
What's good?
How you doing?
I'm chilling.
That's what's up.
Yep.
So just to explain to St. Louis who Marvell Q is.
I'm a artist slash rapper slash producer slash engineer. You know, I basically do all that stuff. Just a regular person who love music.
Okay, how you get your start?
In the church for real. Yeah, I was a church drummer for years. You know, did a little singing. I play the bass for church right now, so.
What, you ain't trying to go to no HBC? You want to be a drummer?
Nah.
No bass, no nothing.
Nah.
Church drummers be the best ones in the marching band.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
I'll probably think about it.
What high school did you go to?
Hazelwood Central. Yeah, I'm from Hazelwood.
You from North County.
Yeah, North County.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, so when I found you, you was on Instagram and I saw a small snippet of that song you just played me.
Okay.
Talk about how you developed the sound of Marvell Q.
Pretty much just took a lot of old school music like funk and, you know, I like the Temptations and stuff like that, and mixed that with, you know, the new wave that's basically going now, you know, and that's how I developed my sound.
Okay, so you like old school music.
Yeah.
If you could collab with one old school artist, who would it be?
Marvin Gaye. Yeah, it had to be Marvin Gaye.
That's what's up. Marvin Gaye on the hook.
Yeah.
That's
most definitely.
All right, so let's talk about your latest project.
Yeah, I dropped a project probably like a couple weeks ago called Conversations and Collaborations. That was with my homeboys, my homeboy Black Lamore and my homeboy Low Down Dirty, aka Shane. We just dropped that on SoundCloud, but I got 2 other projects on all streaming called 3 Joints and Drowning My Songs.
How'd you come up with the name?
Which one?
The
Conversations and Collaborations. We actually got a part 1, and when we go to the studio, like, we basically just sit down and have conversations and try to pull songs out of the conversations, you know, sort of be real life.
Okay.
You know?
So you talk about having a team. We got Black Lamar here.
Yeah.
You also said Shane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you all develop that group? I know.
Well, I actually knew them before I started doing music, so it's like friendship. I started doing music, you know, I kind of ducked off to myself for a few years, and then somehow we all just connected back together, so I think it was meant to be.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So have you played your music for your family? You know, your family is your harshest critic.
Yeah, they like it. They like it. They glad I'm doing something positive, so they like it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay, so in St. Louis, who in St. Louis is the one artist you want to collab with?
Smino.
You know, you hot out here in the streets. It's like
Yeah.
literally everybody dream collab at the moment coming out of St. Louis. Is there one artist outside of St. Louis you want to work with?
That's on already or just bubbling?
Just bubbling, whoever it is.
Kendrick.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, Kendrick. Probably like the only artist I want to collab with right now that's mainstream for real.
You trying to go to LA to get that collab?
Hey, if I got to, I will.
So,
real.
I know like stories about like Wu-Tang is out. Have you like really researched hip hop, or did you just kind of like jump head first in?
Well, I kind of just jumped head first in because growing up I couldn't listen to no rap music in my house, so yeah.
Are you a preacher's kid?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Oh, when you said that, I was like, I got you.
Yeah, so it was kind of, you know, hard for me, but I mean, when I did listen to stuff when I was growing up, it was Missy Elliott and Timbaland and Erykah Badu, so.
Those are like 3 legends.
Heck yeah.
I appreciate
That's probably
that.
another person I want to work with, Timbaland. Yeah, he pretty cold. Yeah.
I don't know if he gonna work with anybody anymore. Like,
man, I think I can pull him out. I can pull him out.
So the one question a lot of artists are having to ask themselves is, do I want to stay independent or do I want to sign to a major? You know what you want to do at the moment?
Right now, I'm cool with being independent, but like if signing that deal is if it's right, then you know we can make something happen. But it gotta be right, you know. I feel like I bring a lot to the table, so that deal had to be right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I always believe in manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
You manifest your own destiny.
Yeah.
you have to put things out in the atmosphere. So you already said you want to collab with Kendrick, or you want to collab with Smino.
Yeah.
Are there any type of endorsements? You know, a lot of sneaker companies are endorsing rappers. Apple is endorsing rappers. You know,
probably like some Apple or some Nike. Them would be two good ones.
Some
you know?
off the wall stuff. You
Yeah.
got clothing lines you on there?
Yeah, I got some ideas for myself, you know what I'm saying? Like a jean brand. I would like to come out with my own jeans, you know, little shirts like that, you know. But Nike and Apple would be some dope endorsements to get.
I know it was an old R&B singer who had his own jeans. I cannot remember who it was.
No.
My mind is drawing a blank.
But you know, Andre 3000, he got his own shoes now, so
Really?
yeah, that's pretty dope.
Who are they? Just rent? Are they like?
They his. I'm gonna look up the
I'm a
name.
sneakerhead, so I ain't heard Andre 3000 has own
Yeah,
shit.
he got his own shoes now.
Okay.
But yeah, oh, that's another one too. I like to collab with Andre. I know he in retirement, but you know he be helping Kendrick.
Yeah, he be coming out of
Yeah.
the woodwork sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
So what draws you to artists like Kendrick and Marvin Gaye and Andre 3000?
The soul, you know, they still Kendrick and Andre still rappers, but you can still hear the soul in their voice. You know, I like that. You know, I come from a spiritual background, so if I can really feel your lyrics and what you saying and how you say it, then you automatically got me. So
That's what I said. And so, are there any other places outside of St. Louis that show you love already?
probably Dallas. I got some people in Dallas. I got some people in Atlanta, and I got a few people in New York. Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
You sound like, man, what I do?
Yeah, I mean it's dope, you know, but you know, I still gotta take the steps to get further, you know. But I like the love. I love the love, you know what I'm saying? But,
And how do you know that you've actually made it? Like, once this occurs, I know, like, I've made it.
really, to me, I'm just trying to be able to provide for my family. Once I can provide for my family off the music, then I've made it. You know, in my eyes, I ain't gotta be the biggest rapper in the world. You know what I'm saying? That'd be nice, but you know, as soon as I can provide for my family strictly off music, and I'm talking about my mom, my dad, my wife, and my kid, all of them. If I can take care of all of them off music checks, then I'd have made it.
So you married?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a rapper. No,
Yeah.
that's the beautiful thing. It's a lot of people feel like they can't do both.
Nah,
They can't juggle both.
You can. You just gotta have somebody that understands. You know, I was going hard before we got married, so she already knew my process and how late I be up, and you know, not being able to see me constantly. So you get somebody like that, you good.
That's what it said.
Yeah.
And so, I know Chance the Rapper he took some time off because he's a father. He
Yeah.
wanted to be a father to his two daughters.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself doing that in the future if that ever comes up, or are you just gonna try to grind through that process?
If I got to, I will. You know, 'cause family come first.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, as of the moment, I'm all in right now. You know, I gotta make something happen.
Okay.
You know?
And so, going into the end of the year, top of the year, what can we expect from Marvell Q?
I got visuals coming. I got merchandise coming. I'll probably drop 2 more projects before the end of the year.
You said 2 more, bro?
Yeah, 2 more. It's third quarter, so I really gotta, you know, I gotta end nice. So
Mm-hmm. You gonna try to QC us and just drop all kind of bombs on?
yeah,
I
like,
appreciate it.
yeah,
That's exactly what they get ready to do.
yeah.
So, if one label did want to sign you, what label are you looking for?
Capital.
Really?
Yeah, I'll probably go with Capital.
What Capital?
I don't know. Probably Capital though. I wouldn't go with no 300 or nothing like that, 'cause I don't feel like my music could fit with they genres. Like
Mhm.
how that's strictly like trap. You know, I got more of a soulful feel, and I like a lot of live instruments. So I feel like Capital would do me great.
That's what's up. I can see you at Capital.
Yeah.
They have the soulful feel still.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can definitely see you at Capital.
Yeah.
So you're a night owl. What's your
Yeah.
favorite snacks in the studio?
Chips, most definitely. Red Hot Riplets, some cupcakes or something.
Definitely from St. Louis. You said Red Hot Riplets.
Yeah, some coffee for sure, wine, and a couple of joints.
Can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, the one thing I've been debating as like a radio personality that works in a business is, say Cheese recently said St. Louis is the second hardest place for a rapper to take off from. Do you believe that's true?
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. Because everybody I know that actually made it had to leave. But as soon as they left, they made it. So, you know, St. Louis got the talent. You know, we just ain't got the resources, I feel.
You looking to move in there?
If I got to, I will. You know, anything to help me succeed, you know, I'm with it. So, I'm looking at a few places right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other question is, how do you think we as a station can help you?
Just play my music. Put me in rotation. Straight up.